Hello, my dear students. We are almost in the last part of this chapter. So, after understanding what are salts and some salts, today we are going to discuss on water of crystallization. Once again, I am repeating the title Water of crystallization. After forming a crystal by a particular chemical, it will go to a particular shape, and that shape is called as what? Geometry of that compound, shape of that compound in 3D. After attaining a particular shape, in some molecules or in some crystals, we find some gaps. In those gaps, water molecules are trapped, and these trapped water molecules are called water of crystallization. Means water molecules present in the crystals of certain compounds, that is called water of crystallization. Why they are there? Because certain gaps are there. So how many water molecules are trapped? That depends upon the how much space is available in the crystal. So depend upon the space, depend upon the empty space available in the crystal of a particular compound, those many water molecules are will there in that structure, and that is called as what? Water of crystallization. Now with examples we'll discuss. Crystals of salts appear dry, but many salts contain some water molecule. These water molecules contained by crystals of salts is known as water of crystallization. Already I told, make it as a salt. Salts that contain water molecules are known as hydrated salts. For example, copper sulfate, gypsum, sodium carbonate, etc. See, whenever we take a sample in the hand, which sample? Copper sulfate sample. So it looks dry. See, don't feel that water is there in the crystals means it should become wet. No, not like that. So that water is attached to the crystal of that compound. So wetting property is not there. It is there as a part of the structure, but it appears dry. But when you see through the powerful spectroscope or the microscope or the some using some diffraction techniques in the higher class, we will come to know that these water molecules are there and they are the part of the crystal. This can be easily understood in a laboratory without help of sophisticated devices like spectroscope and the microscope. How? Let us take a small sample of copper sulfate which is blue in color. When this blue colored copper sulfate is taken in a test tube and heated on the Bunsen burner, we will see that the blue color disappears. And on the mouth, near the mouth of a test tube, we will find water droplets. From where these droplets have come? They have come from the copper sulfate, which were there in the test tube. Earlier, copper sulfate color was blue. Now the copper sulfate is not blue. That means after losing water molecules from its crystal, it converts into blue to the a pale white or grayish white like that, depend upon how much you have done. Now after cooling the test tube, if you add a few drops of water, again it regains the color. So loss of water, absorption of water, this is a temporary process. So it can lose, it can gain also by adding water. So from this activity, from this experiment or from this test, we can conclude that some amounts of waters will be there in the crystals of certain compounds, and these are called water of crystallization. Okay, right. Now let us take an example of sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate, which is also known as washing soda, which contains 10 water molecules. Therefore, because of this, it is called as what? Sodium carbonate decahydrate. Deca for 10, hydrate for water molecules. So 10 water molecules are there. Therefore, it is called decahydrate. So actual formula of sodium carbonate is Na2CO3 10H2O. To show that 10 water molecules are there in the structure of sodium carbonate, and these 10 water molecules are called as water of crystallization of sodium carbonate. Depend upon how many water molecules are there in the crystal, we will say that that is the water of crystallization of that crystal. Sodium carbonate which does not contain any water molecule is called dry or anhydrous sodium carbonate, where water molecules are not there. For example, in the previous discussion, you have taken the copper sulfate in a blue color. When you heat it, it loses all the water molecules, becomes dry. In the same way, if sodium carbonate loses all the 10 water molecules, it becomes dry or anhydrous chemically. So anhydrous sodium carbonate is also known as soda ash. Okay, sodium carbonate which has lost all the 10 water molecules, and that is called what? Soda ash. The chemical formula of sodium carbonate is Na2CO3 10H2O, already I told. Sometimes crystals of sodium carbonate contains 7 water molecules. I told depend upon how much it can take. That is called what? Na2CO3 7H2O, and this is called what? Sodium carbonate heptahydrate. Depend upon the how many water molecules are there, we name them. Now second example, copper sulfate. This I told. Color is blue color. Crystals of copper sulfate appears blue because it contains 5 water molecules. This is the cause that chemical formula of copper sulfate is CSO4 5H2O. When crystals of copper sulfate is heated, it loses its water molecule and its color becomes gray white. I told already. Chemically, you write like this: when you heat it, it loses all the water molecules and becomes dry. Okay. This is called anhydrous copper sulfate. This is hydrous copper sulfate, blue color, and this is what? Grayish white. But when water is added to anhydrous copper sulfate, or it exposes to moisture present in the air, it once again regains the blue color. Now we'll go for third example for the water of crystallization. Ferrous sulfate. Its color is bluish green or light green. This color in ferrous sulfate is because of what? Presence of water molecules. How many? 7 water molecules. Therefore, formula becomes what? Formula becomes 7H2O. Please write here 7H2O. I forgot to write here. So FeSO4, 7H2O is the formula for ferrous sulfate. Since ferrous sulfate contains 7 water molecules, thus it is called ferrous sulfate heptahydrate, and water of crystallization of ferrous sulfate is 7. The fourth example is gypsum. Formula CSO4 2H2O. The chemical name of gypsum is calcium sulfate dihydrate, as it contains 2 molecules of water. This is not a D, please. It is di. Sometimes typing mistake is there. No? So dihydrate. Gypsum is also a hydrated salt because 2 molecules of water are there. If you heat it, it becomes dry and anhydrous. Same rules. It contains 2 molecules of water. In the same way, we will go for the fifth and the final example for water of crystallization, that is plaster of Paris. Plaster of Paris is also known as gypsum plaster. One more name. And its formula is what? CSO4 half H2O. What is half H2O? How half H2O can be there in the water, in the calcium sulfate? Very uneasy to understand, very difficult to digest. So what happens? What we'll do? We'll multiply this complete formula with 2. What happens? 2 into CSO4, and that 2 for the half becomes cancels. So 2 cancels, only 1 H2O remains. That means you can write this formula as 2CSO4 H2O is also allowed. Either you can write CaSO4 half H2O. If you feel uneasy, then you are most welcome to write 2CSO4 H2O. Both are allowed. Just to understand what molecule is there in the structure of a CaSO4. This got its name plaster of Paris because a large gypsum deposits are available at the place which is near the Paris, and this is called what? Montmartre in Paris. That's why the name came plaster of Paris. So in our next class we will discuss how this plaster of Paris is prepared and what are its uses and why this Paris name came. For this already last sentence says, but still a short video is there. So all these we see in our next class. Okay, my dear students, thank you one and all.